First, there's a question online from Zubair Shafiq. Can you comment on the ethical issue of using a HARPO against online behavior advertising? Does the user of HARPO engage in ad fraud?
Yeah, actually, in our paper, we do discuss the ethical issues of HARPO. So we admit that by using HARPO, the users may make the tracker's model to be less accurate because we inject some obfuscation personas to their database. But compared with other existing privacy-enhancing tools, obfuscation tools are more ecosystem friendly. Well, we may make the tracker lose some utility, but we don't kill the whole ecosystem. So therefore, we do provide some trade-off between the privacy and the utility of the whole ecosystem.
Okay. Yeah. Any other questions? I have a question about the stealthiness. This approach basically using a learning model to generate fake URLs, right?
Yeah.
Insert it. But if you think each website is actually a state machine, if the state machine is very tight, although you're using a learning model, you cannot easily detect this a fake URL. But by just looking at the URL sequence, it may be easy to detect. I mean, the attackers, not attackers, the advertisers too, can detect which URL is actually out of sync in the state machine. Have you considered the problem?
Yeah, actually, we do consider it in our extension implementation. So actually, first we have a parameter called alpha to control the percentile of obfuscation URLs. So for example, if we set the alpha as 0.1, which means 10%, we expect it's very difficult for the adversary to detect it. And also in our browser extension, we design a Poisson process to model the arrival rate of the obfuscation URL. So in order to make it more similar to the user's behavior when visiting the web page.
Yeah, for example, when you generate the obfuscation URL, is off-site or on the same site?
We do have maintain a pool of obfuscation URLs. And in our extension, the background script will open this obfuscation URL in a hidden tab.
Okay, but the URL linked to the same website or different website?
Different web.
Okay, for example, if we are visiting the NDSS web portal, when you inject any offsite access, I think it's a parent fake URL, right? That can be actually removed by the advertiser. Is it correct?
It's possible, but actually in our extension, we will not try to inject the obfuscation URL at the same time with the user URL.